right, guys, so we are about to do our first lunch and learn. We have some young guys in here. We're training. We have two guys that started out of high school, Connor and Jamad, so you'll get to know a little bit more about them, and these are the young guys that are training. We want to start getting everybody together so we can kind of just talk about everything that's going on in the business and the industry and focus on how we can all get better and do better together. So that's what this is. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know in the comments if you have any feedback. All right, so guys, I brought this thing together here because you guys are the younger, newer guys, right? And I kind of want to start doing some different things. I'm going to be doing stuff with everybody in the company. This is the first one I was going to do, and I mentioned it to you guys earlier. I don't know if we're going to get to all this stuff, but really what I wanted to do today for the first one was just kind of look at Connor and Jamad. Those guys came here, was it 2018? I'm trying to remember, it was 2018 or 19? 18.
No, it was 18.
And so I kind of wanted to share, like, from your perspective, like, I know my perspective of how, like, I went to the high school and spoke, but from your perspective, start with you if you want. Give these guys, like, an understanding of how you came to be here, like the thought process and what made you say, yeah, I want to do this and all that stuff.
Well, I knew I wanted something hands-on. Didn't know what. I like a challenge, so I like random challenges. And then when we had the meeting, I never even realized that kitchen equipment service wasn't even a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you mentioned that you work on so many different things. Like every day was new. It wasn't like you were doing the same repetition job.
Yep.
And I know when I was in high school, I didn't want like an Oval Office repetition kind of job, so it intrigued me. And then I looked at Javon and I was like, "You want to do this?" And he said, "Yeah." And then we just went with it.
Yeah, you came, and these guys were, I mean, they were in high school still.
Yeah.
So you came with your dad.
Yeah, it was because I was 17, so I was scared.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I even said, like, tell your, like, when you came with your mom, because, you know, like, you're still 17
because I was
kids, so, I mean.
Because I know we graduated, it was like June, whatever, 9th. I was here, I think, the 11th, or I started the 10th of July.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a week after we graduated. We
Yep.
just came right in.
Yeah.
It's a big commitment to make like that, like right out of high school.
Yeah, I had to take like a month break. I was like, I just did 12 years of school, I need a break.
Right, so you started a few weeks later.
Yeah, I was
right?
already landscaping, so I was just like,
Yep.
get ready.
So what about you, Jamal? How was the thought process for you?
Basically, I was in the trades classes, like carpentry, welding, and everything. So I was like, I like kind of like hands-on stuff. So, I mean, I took the class like everybody else just to get out of class at first. Just to get out of class.
Okay.
But, yeah, I was sitting next to Connor. He was explaining it, like basically, you could go anywhere in the world. They're gonna need you, like anywhere in the world, because there's units all over. So basically, you gonna have a job anywhere you go. So that's what that really like was in my head. Like, damn, I could go anywhere instead of, you know, once I learned, I could just work anywhere. Go walk into a restaurant, say I can do this, that, you know, negotiate with people. So then, yeah, I was like, I didn't commit to a college yet. So I was like, looked at Connor, I was like, yeah, you wanna see what's up with it? You know, everybody else. When he finished, everybody else was just walking by out the class. And we came up to him and he was like, like, what is this about? Really?
Yeah, I think he gave us a business,
Like,
he gave
what
us a
is
business
this
card or
about?
something. You said come by whenever.
Yeah, you were the only two that did. The only two out of there was like 50 people,
Yeah.
50 kids maybe, something like that.
And I wasn't even supposed to be in that lecture. I was only there because they were doing construction in our classroom, and we usually were playing basketball, but they were doing something in the basketball room. So they're like, you have to go upstairs. That was the only reason why, which was funny.
Well, coincidences in life to be. So, you know, looking at this perspective, right? These guys came in 2018 from high school, and I put this here because I think this is important, because I've seen a lot of grown men come through here, and they just can't. It couldn't happen. They can't understand it. And I've said over the years to lots of people, this is not for everybody. A lot of different levels to what this profession, you know, requires. I want to ask you guys in a second, but what are some things? I want to talk about some of these things. I already know in my head what some of this stuff is. What do you need to be good for this?
I think it's like a challenge. 100%. You gotta be willing to not turn down the challenge. Like you said, like even just this past month, I probably worked on 5 pieces of equipment that we've never seen. You have to be up and willing and able to be, I can do this, you know.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing as this, it's just a different manufacturer, a different brand. So you gotta be willing to take on the challenge, not call your own and say, oh, I can't do this, I wasn't, you know.
Yeah.
I think
That's important. What do we think?
Gotta be patient, for sure.
Something I was going to talk about today is patience. I think from the patient perspective, being patient in life and everything we do, it's taken me a long time to learn this. Because, you know, especially when you're young, you just want to be there. You want that instant gratification. We live in a world of you're watching stuff on social media. Everything seems like, they're so lucky they have this, 99% of it is bullshit. Nothing comes in a week or a month. It's years. It takes years to become the person that you want to be. So having patience is a good one. Anything else?
I think not being scared to ask questions. I don't know if that's like a thing like that, but I think a lot of guys will go into things and they don't want.
Nothing wrong here.
Yeah, I mean, like I to this day still make phone calls to Rich or Gil or Dave to ask a question about something.
I'll say,
Even the manufacturer. Yeah,
Don't have an ego.
yeah.
Don't have an ego. I've had, again, my experiences here over the last 20 years or so. You know, we've had guys come on board here and they come in with the ego. I'm better than you. I'm better than everybody. I could do circles around you. I could do this. And those, I always find out that those are the guys that don't have a clue. And then people don't want to work with you.
Mhm.
We've had guys here too. It's like, listen, don't send me with him because he's, you know, he knows everything. We can't have a discussion. You guys have to talk things through sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, so nobody knows everything. You're gonna sit here 10 years from now, 20 years from now, no matter where you are, and you're still not gonna know everything. I can tell you every day I'm coming across things. I'm trying to figure like 10 things out right now. You know, sometimes I know who to call. Sometimes I got to research myself. But I think there's always ask questions is definitely don't sit there. You're not on an island, right?
Mhm.
You're not by yourself. Pick up the phone, call somebody. You don't know, but if you call me, if you call Jerry, I might know who to call that can get us that answer,
Mhm.
put us in the right path.